to be on the tower upon the bulwark, to shoot arrows and great stone wither, and his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. The two verses we read, the one our Bible reading for today, and this verse shows that these two stories shows that God marvelously helped them. That they didn't achieve whatever they achieved by their own power. It was achieved by the help of God. So we do not amount to anything significant except by the help of God. I want us to take this down. Every man succeeds in life according to how much help they find. Every man succeeds in life according to how much help they find. In other words, I'm saying that any man you see at the top, one way or the other, has been helped by somebody else, somewhere or sometime. Nobody came to the top by himself and himself alone. Somebody must have helped you somewhere, somehow or the other. So it means every man succeeds in life according to how much help he finds. And that's the most time when you see men at the lower cadre of life, it is not because they don't know what to do, but because they are not exposed to as much help as they can. There are people with ideas. As soon as they tell the ideas to somebody, the man just saw it and said, okay, this idea can work, and he takes it personal. He takes it upon himself to lift that man up. And there are people who have so much ideas, yet they cannot get help. Not because they don't want help, but because the help is not available. So when you see a man succeed, it is as a result of the help he has found. So in life, there are certain principles that obeys to logic. It means there are certain principles that will obey to hard work. It means you must work hard to get to a particular limit. But at the same time, there are certain things that do not respect logic, and they only come to existence by the mercies of the Lord. Are you following me? I'm not trying to downplay hard work here. No, hard work is good. There's a certain point hard work will get you to. The rest is dependent on the mercies of God. I remember when I was in school, I'm so sure everybody had that same thing. We plan when we are going to finish our secondary school. We plan when we will finish university. We plan how we will get a job. We plan when we will get married. In fact, we have planned everything accordingly. But what happens? Life happens. Because you can determine how hard you will work, but you cannot determine the result and how it will happen. You can determine to go to school and work hard and get the first class, but you cannot determine who will give you a job. You cannot determine where you will work. You cannot determine how far you will go. There are certain people who do not know, who did not ever. In fact, if you ask them, they never dreamt they will be in the UK, because based on their reality, based on their circumstances, it can never happen. But lo and behold, years after, they are in the UK. Years after, governors of state. Years after, they are president of the nation. Years after, they are CEOs of big organizations. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Let's open our Bible to Romans 9 verse 16. Romans 9 verse 16. Okay, so it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. It is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. A man can will, and in fact it is good to will, but it does not guarantee you will succeed. A man can run, in fact that is what he ought to do, but running does not guarantee that you will finish well or succeed in life. There are times when you have the necessary skills to achieve your goals, but yet it will not happen. You have all it takes to achieve your goals, but yet you can't produce results. Now it is not a question of your skills. You have the skills. It is not a problem of your skills, but it is a factor of the mercies of God. Looking at yourself, you have all the skills, the necessary skills, the certificate, but yet you cannot get that result. What you need at that time is the mercies of God. Because you've tried all you can, yet it is not working. It is a time to pray. I have a friend in Port Harcourt back then, still in Port Harcourt. No, sorry, not Port Harcourt, Bayelsa. As rich as Bayelsa is, oil producing state. Anytime I call him, I said, oil money. That's why I call him oil money. That with the amount of oil you have, you shouldn't have problem. And he told me something one day. He said, with the vast oil we have here, there are so many people without jobs. There are so many people impoverished. As at that time, he does not have a job, and yet his brother was commissioned as at that time, and yet no job. And I thought you need, as at that time, is to pray based on my own understanding. As you run the race of life, factor it in your mind that there's a part only God can fit into. As you run the race of life, put it at the back of your mind that there's a